Before I lived here, I lived in an old house in another part of the Netherlands, and my energy bill each month was about 300 before the energy crisis and 500 after, during. And this way of heating cost me about 150. So it's very cheap, and it's always the same amount. It doesn't goes up or down. It's very steady, which is very nice. You are the boss of your own energy supply because you own it. So there's not a sort of big company somewhere in the country who decides what you should do or not should do, and you have to pay them. It's your own. You're a shareholder.
I think that for the early supporters, sustainability was the most important. But for the late supporters, it's the price. The price, and also many people were worried about the fact that they have to cook or change their cooking system. So not gas anymore, but electrical cooking system. So that are things, very practical things that people are worried about. So their own regulation of the temperature and the cooking system. Yeah, we had a lot of information evenings. We were in every building we have an ambassador, so to say, who helps us to convince the people in their own building, because they have our support. We have all the ambassadors and all the volunteers that helped us. We call it the elderly ladies who in fact convince their neighbors to support. We will now connect this entire neighborhood, which is all of them, 100% coverage. But we have a little bit extra capacity, and the surrounding streets, many people are interested too.
Има няколко пътеки, по които може да се тръгне. Със сигурност, каквото и да си говорим, това не може да се случи с еднократна промяна на цялата инфраструктура или еднократно просто с щракане на пръстите всичко да бъде променено на куп. Трябва малки по малки действия. Доколкото ми е известно, в Топлофикация София специално, там има разработени бизнес планове. Има разработени бизнес планове, свързани с възобновяема енергия, които седат и отлежават, и нито едно ръководство не е достатъчно амбициозно, достатъчно овластено дори, смятам, да предприеме съответните действия, тези планове да бъдат вкарани наистина в действие. Ако говорим това хората да бъдат част от енергийната система, т.е. оставаме на страна плановете за преминаване на възобновяема енергия на топлофикацията и слагаме фокуса върху хората, смятам, че малко по малко в отделните станции и дори на ниво блок е възможно поставянето на термопомпа и хората да бъдат напълно самостоятелни. Може би промяна в законодателството, възможност хората да притежават инсталацията, възможност хората да съответно и етажната собственост да бъде облагодетелствана, да може да прави промени вътре в самата сграда. Със сигурност, за да може да се създадат различни финансови инструменти, различни финансови механизми, страната ни трябва да бъде амбициозна. Трябва не в плановете ни да пише ние ще стимулираме еди каква си промяна чрез създаването на енергийни общности, а трябва да е записано как. Трябва да е записана точна цифра. До еди коя си година трябва да създаде еди колко си общности за електричество, еди колко си общности за отопление. Ние ще ги стимулираме по този начин.
I think we need three things. So the European Commission can make more legislation with like quantitative targets for ownership, and also just to have in every country a law where energy communities have a place in that law and where energy communities have access to the energy system. So first of all, the legal framework in every member state, the European Commission can enforce it and make it better. Second thing, once we have the laws, is capacity building. So knowledge sharing, support systems for energy communities where they can get expertise, and a lot of that is done through supporting national federations. So in the Netherlands we have a strong national federation of energy communities which helps local energy communities, because in a local initiative you cannot learn everything. Like some legal things, some economic things, some technical things, you just want to have an expert fly in. So the European Commission can support the strengthening national federations to build capacity in the countries, and also they can support knowledge frameworks. Now the last thing the European Commission can do is provide access to capital. First of all is grants, but a grant or a subsidy that costs a lot of money, but they do that already with the European facility. They give a grant for the first phase, like a €45,000 grant. After that, the European Commission can enable access to loans, because a loan will help you finance the project. And the European Commission can do that by either setting up funds themselves that can offer loans, or they can give guarantees for loans that are given by national or private banks at a member state level. Because when you give a guarantee as a European Commission, you basically de-risk the loan, so the loan gets a lower interest rate. So it's more access to good finance, basically.